when I got hired in Florida for the art director's position, I got hired with the stipulation that I was firing somebody.
Come and do the bad guy.
This was what I was told. Yeah, that is hardcore. Like, I'm 24 years old. 24 years old. The guy.
Do you know why we called you in here today?
The guy was. That's my first thing I was told. So he's 45, has been in the business for a really long time. I know nothing about nothing. And I was brought in, and they said, can you fire him? And I was like, hell yeah, I can fire him. I don't know him. Why am I going to lose sleep over this? Now, if I know him, then yeah, there's going to be a problem. All right, so I said this, truly believing it. Truly believing that I was like, you know what, this guy is out the door, I'm getting someone in the next day. Because I asked, I said, we're firing him, but I get to hire somebody, right? That's how this works. Because, you know, in this day and age, if you fire somebody, you're not getting somebody back in. You're just down a man. So I walked in, and I went out and I took him to lunch. And I freaking thought he was funny and cool and awesome. And I went to my boss and I said, I'm not going to fire him. I said, until he proves to me that there's a reason to fire him, I can't see the justification of me firing him. And I just can't do it. And she goes, everybody in this building basically wants him fired.
Oh.
Now, here's the thing. Here's the thing. If everybody in the building wanted that person fired, take note that there's a reason. And just because you don't see it, and if everybody agrees to it, there is a reason. So, this basically, he stayed on board for a year. And what happened was, one day, my office was kind of separated from the art department. The art department's here, my office is here, and the door to leave my office, you don't see when I come and go. So I worked, you know, like a normal 9-to-5 job type thing. And I came in on a project. And I didn't want to bug the artist because this was broadcast news, so it's a live news situation. You don't mess with them. You just go about your business, you walk into the room, you don't interact. It's a live situation. One of the producers walks in and gives him a map or something. And he goes, what the fuck is this? And I'm like, oh my God, what's that? I'm like, what's going on over there? He goes, how long have you lived here? He goes, blah, 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 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. He's like, well, you should know the street by now. You shouldn't give me fucking directions like a little girl. How this is happening? This is happening, right? And I just pull my chair over. Basically to the door, because I'm like, I'm not missing this. And I'm not stopping this. Because there's a sick side of me that wants to see how this happens. Like I knew I could stop it. I could walk in there and go, Jim, is there a problem? I'm like, no, this is gold. So he continues to berate this producer. And I mean, it got ugly and maybe a little racist.
So racist.
A sprinkling tad of kind of country bumpkin came out of him. And I'm just going, wow. And then, you know, the news leaves and I go, well, I ain't going home now. So I just sit in my office contemplating, what do you do? Do you fire him? What do you do? So I go, right, I figured, you know, you walk in there, and here's the thing, the guy's like 6'4", and I'm kind of scrappy, but I know who I can, and I cannot take. I wasn't taking this guy. And after hearing him talk, I was a little bit afraid. So what I did was when the news finishes at 11 o'clock, I just came in and I sat down at the other computer and started working. So he would know that I was there. He goes, hey, Dean. I'm like, hey, Jim. How's it going? Good. And he's just silent. So usually there would be a banter back and forth. This is a very talkative man. The next day, We fired him.
Did you hire someone to fire?
No. The next day I went to my boss because the thing was, you know, you're working for a corporation and you actually can't just go fire somebody. If you think you can, you're in the lawsuit world. If you go in and ever think, I don't care what art director or what creative, if you go in there and just go, you're fired without talking to HR first, you've probably lost your job. Okay, so that's just something to remember. Now, if you're a smaller place, then get them out of there. You know, you're out, you're gone, you're history. This is a corporation. I have no power. So HR called him in and we had a meeting and, Jim, I heard you. You want to deny it? He's like, no. I'm like, well, you got to go. So, you know, security pulled him up. So,
Were they required?
Huh?
Were they required to go?
They're actually, because when you're in a news building, there's always security.
Well, I meant like, did he put up a fight?
No. It's how it works in that situation is that HR has to be in the room. Whoever's the senior has to be in the room. Whoever's doing the firing has to be in the room. And you know the guy who's going out.
Right.
And they have to just collect their things. They have, I think, like 10-15 minutes to gather up their stuff, get out, and you can schedule another time to come in. So, needless to say, anger. Curb it. You know, one of the things I say to most of my guys, and I have an issue, I have some anger issues. I've got some problems. There is nothing we do on a day-to-day basis that has killed anybody in art. There really hasn't. No one has ever died from a game, from motion graphics, from a comic book. I hope not, that I know of. No one has ever died. Curb, it's usually the anger is because of a situation. Okay, you need to remember that. It's a situation that's happening. It's not the person, all right? Curb your anger. Curb your tendency to lash out, especially when, you know, the map was wrong. Okay, we get it. You should know more about this area. You're the producer. You should know this information. It shouldn't be left up to the artist. Those words should not have come out. The sprinkle of racism shouldn't have come out.
What's crazy is they were both white.
Actually, they were. Actually, the other guy was gay.
Oh, that guy.
So that was. If you call me fat, that's racism to me. My people don't like that. But the point was, it was about, you know, this person's lifestyle, and to me, that was just, you've gone past where we can fix this. In fact, if you would have just cussed them out, I'd have probably not cared. You went down a road that we are gonna have to do something about.